Okay, so I wanted to do this video on congratulations. Congratulations are in order for the Boston Celtics. They are world champions. They beat the Dallas Mavericks. So congratulations to the Boston community, Boston Celtics fans, Boston Celtics organization, the players, the coaches. Congratulations are in order. Well deserving. Actually, I watched the whole entire series. Actually, to be fair about it, this should have been it should have been done in 4 games, but it was done in 5. Also, congratulations are in order for Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving guaranteed when he was a Boston Celtic player to deliver a title to the Boston Celtics community. So he literally have done that with his performance, lack thereof performance of this series. And look, the superior team won. Okay. I'm being a little petty on the Kyrie Irving thing, but the superior team won. The most talented team won. Head to shoulders. And congratulations for the Boston Celtics. Now, as far as the Dallas Mavericks are concerned, the Dallas Mavericks, there's a possibility that the Dallas Mavericks can at least make it to the Western Conference Finals. If you look at the landscape of, the West Division, well, West Side, okay, there's really not a team standing in the Dallas Mavericks' way. Minnesota Timberwolves, possibility. The Memphis Grizzlies, not likely, but they'll be a little bit competitive. When you talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder, with that young core, they're only going to get better. The Houston Rockets with their young core, they're only going to get better. When you look at the, familiar faces like the Golden State Warriors, clearly they're in rebuilding mode. The Los Angeles Lakers, they're gonna be a mid-level team, a 500 team. They're gonna be too good to be in the NBA draft, but not good enough to contend for the postseason. So they still got that dilemma. Plus, they still haven't even found a coach. But when you look at when you look at the West Side of the NBA, the Western Conference, with Sacramento, hopefully New Orleans, they just need to tweak that roster a little bit better. The Dallas Mavericks could be the superior team for the West. Now, a lot of people are going to say, what about the Clippers? I just think the Clippers are going to be the Clippers. They are going to be one of those 500 teams, just like they'll be in the same situation, in the same boat, like the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, they're not, they're going to be too good to be a lottery winning team, and they're not going to be good enough to advance to the NBA Finals or be very competitive in the postseason. But there's a possibility that the Dallas Mavericks could do this again. I do feel like Luka needs to be more of a two-way player instead of a one-way player. And you can clearly tell during this series, he needs to stop whining about calls. He needs to quit doing that. I think it slows the production and the tempo and the chemistry, particularly when they're trying to, get back into the game, but I just think Luka needs to focus more on defense. I think his conditioning, he needs to be more of a conditioned player. The skill set's there offensively. I just don't think he's a liability defense wise. And Kyrie Irving, what you get from Kyrie Irving is what you're going to get from Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is too old in the game to change who he is. Okay, Kyrie Irving is going to be a very skillful player that His dribble game, his handle game is still going to be there. He's going to still play hero ball. And I always knew Kyrie Irving was a hero ball type of guy, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you can't consistently depend on Kyrie Irving to pull you out of games by playing hero ball. What you get from Kyrie Irving is what you're going to get from Kyrie Irving. Obviously, they're going to have to tweak this roster. I understand Mark Cuban. He's going to do his best, his due diligence to make this team a lot more competitive. I think they need to be more defensively challenged. You already got offense with Luka and Kyrie. I mean, I don't think you need another scorer there. I just think you need a bunch of defenders around them. And the team that they had were, defenders, but Luka's going to have to help on the defensive end. And Kyrie Irving, that's what you're going to get from Kyrie Irving. But other than that, I feel like the Boston Celtics this is the makings of possibility of them having a dynasty. I think they are the favorites in the East. I really think the Milwaukee Bucks really gave up on Drew Holiday. If they had to do it all over again, they probably would to entertain the trade that sent Dame to Milwaukee. And you had to give up so much for Dame. And there's reports out there where Dame has even indicated that he wasn't even in basketball shape. Now, could all this, with another year under his belt in Milwaukee, could their fortunes change with him and the Greek Freak? A possibility, but they're plagued with the same problems as the Dallas Mavericks. They need a defensive stopper or a defensive player, or have defensive players around those two guys. And if you look at Miami is going to be one of those very competitive teams. In the same boat as the Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers. Maybe another year, the Chicago Bulls will be a little bit more healthier. It's remained to be seen. The New York Knicks, I think they just need to tweak it a little bit. Who knows? They might represent the East. And if you hear the reports that Monty Williams has been let go of Detroit basketball, Detroit's going to always be Detroit. But if you look at the landscape of the East, it's Boston. It's Boston's to lose. And if Boston is not representing the East in the finals, you have a few teams that could possibly dethrone the Boston Celtics. I feel like the only way the Boston Celtics are going to be dethroned next year if they have a significant injury with either Tatum or Brown, where they're going to be out for a long, extended time. I feel like the only team that can beat Boston is Boston. I just don't think of any other team realistically in the East that can survive the Boston Celtics. If the Boston Celtics are healthy, I just don't see a team in the East that's going to beat them. I feel like the only team that can beat the Boston Celtics are the Boston Celtics, and either through injuries or they're not taking it seriously. That's the only two ways I feel like the Boston Celtics are not going to be in the NBA Finals. But congratulations are in order for the Boston Celtics. And we'll, around this time, maybe next month, we will talk about the possibilities of who's going to be in the East and who's going to represent the East and who's going to represent the West. I did put Boston up there, but Boston was not my pick. When the NBA season was over with, I was really heavy on the Phoenix Suns and the nuances that they put towards that team. And I forgot who I picked on the East, but I did pick, I think it was between New York and Miami. And this was before the Milwaukee Bucks made that trade. And this is before, I always knew, but I always was was high on Boston. All right. But I also said that on the East, it's anybody's division to win. So yeah, I can't wait till I probably will do it next week and give you guys a prediction of who's going to dominate the West, who's going to dominate the East, and teams to look for and things of that nature. I will do that next week sometime, and I will see you guys in the next video. Go check out my Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese video. I uploaded it a couple of days ago. I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces.